and we are the editors of the journal Studies in Continuing Education. We prepared this little presentation to help people that might be wanting to submit papers to our journal. So what's going to happen is Nick will ask a few questions and I'll respond.
We recently updated our aims and scope. What are the key points that our authors should know about?
Well, the journal addresses the wide scope of adults learning in all sorts of situations, whether they're in institutions, outside institutions, in formal educational settings, in workplaces, in communities, wherever they might be located. The one thing that we're emphasising a little more, we're not giving up some of those ideas, but what we're emphasising more is a focus on the professions, professional formation, studies of professional learning.
What should authors think about when preparing their papers?
Well, I think the first thing is to remember that we are an international journal with an international audience. So whatever you do, you must speak to people outside your country. So yes, of course, any particular study might be done in one place, but we want you to make that accessible to those that are completely unfamiliar to that setting. And similarly, often a study is located within a profession or a particular kind of work or somewhere, a community, and we want you to also be able to communicate your ideas beyond the people that know about that kind of setting. So, for example, if you're doing a study of teachers' continuing development in schools, then we want you to speak not just from the literature on schools, but on the literature of professionals learning in work contexts.
Okay, so the key point here is addressing the wider context and wider readership.
Yes.
What kind of papers do we accept?
Well, we have a very broad range, but what we aim for is papers that are well conceptualised, that people have really explored the literature, they've located their work within the literature, and they pick up concepts and ideas and they use them effectively in their argument of their paper. We're very happy to accept empirical or theoretical papers, but also we particularly want to encourage people that want to do critical reviews of issues that are current in the broad field.
Do we have any particular methodological restrictions?
No, we're quite methodologically diverse.
Say I've been doing some really interesting work developing innovative approaches to professional education or continuing education, and I want to write about it in this journal. What should I think about?
I think the first thing you should think about is it innovative just in your context, or is it innovative beyond the context? So we'll have expected you to be very familiar with the kind of things that people are reporting in the literature of that kind of work elsewhere, in different settings, in different countries, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We'd also want you to conceptualise your practice in a way that's beyond the immediate setting. How can people that are not doing your particular kind of innovation on your particular topic, how will they access your paper and appreciate it and get something from it?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the final thing we want to emphasise is that we're not interested in evaluations of particular projects, some programs that you did that went well or didn't go well. So the evaluation might be the thing that stimulates you to write in the first place, but you need to think about it not just as an evaluation of an innovation, but what does this innovation speak to in a wider sense?
So we are interested in people reporting on innovative practices and evidence that shows they're working or where they're not working. But it's not just a self-contained evaluation, it's got to have that wider.
Yes.